Kia ora, ko Sharon Holt tōku ingoa. My name's Sharon Holt, and today I've had a request about the pronunciation of these native trees, which all have beautiful berries and flowers. And it's a very typical example of what happens in a lot of classrooms, schools and early childhood centres, where the names for our native, usually to do with birds or trees, are used for group names and class names and centre names and things like that, maybe even house names in a school. So if we're doing that, I really believe that it's important for us to make sure that we're pronouncing those Māori words correctly, because it's really disrespectful if we're not doing that in that environment, in that educational environment. And if we're not going to take the time and effort to make sure that we're pronouncing those birds and trees correctly, which we're using for the names of rooms or centres or houses or whatever it is in the education system, then I don't think we should use Māori words, quite frankly. I'd rather you called your groups or your classes blue, yellow and red than mispronounce the Māori words for those things. So this one is an example from someone who's enjoying our page, and she's asked for the correct pronunciation of these particular ones which are used in their early childhood centres. So this is the Māori word for yellow, and it's also about the kōwhai tree. So ko is a long O there, it's got a macron over it, and that is always going to be the sound o, because we've got a, e, I, o, u. So it's ko, and then we've got whai, ai, ko whai. So the way to pronounce that is definitely ko whai. So your room or your centre or your group is kōwhai, and it's not koai or kowhai, it's definitely ko, a, e, I, o, u. Okay, kōwhai, got that? Excellent. And now this one is a beautiful one with crimsony red flowers, and there's macrons on both of these vowels. So we've got a, e, I, o, u, and here we've got two of these a, and they're both a little bit longer, so they're a, ra, ta, and rata has got a little bit of a roll here as well, so it makes it a little bit trickier. So it's not rata, it's rata. And the T, you might have seen me talk about this before. We've got the possibilities for the pronunciation of the letter T depend on what vowel is after it. So when it's an a, e, or, as it in this case, then it's a flatter sound like ta. So this is rata, and not probably as long as I'm sounding it. I'm making it a little bit kind of more emphasized. You could say rata. And then if they've got these ones, then it's more of a t sound, but we haven't got that in any of those examples there. Kōwhai, rata, and miro. So I suspect that this is pronounced incorrectly, probably with the o sounding instead like more of an o, but that's not right. A, e, I, o. So this is the I, miro, and you've got your rolled R there again. So we've got kōwhai, rata, and miro, and there's no macron, so that's quite short, miro. Hopefully that helps, and I really encourage all of you to look again at the names of groups and classrooms and houses and all the different ways that we are using these Māori names for our trees and our birds, and make sure that you're pronouncing them correctly. A, e, I, o, u, and putting a break after every vowel. Ka kite.